I already love same-day delivery with Shipt, but it's so much better since I signed up for Target Circle 360. Why? Because I no longer pay price markups from the majority of stores through Shipt. Only a handful of alcohol retailers and items don't count. That means no markups on groceries, pet food, even home goods and makeup. So to recap, I have more time to catch up on life while someone shops for me, and I spend less. It's a win-win. Order now at shipt.com/360. Terms apply.
It is my great honor to welcome you all to Starfleet Academy.
There's never been a better time to enroll in Star Trek.
It's our job to prepare you for the unimaginable. To the night, cadet!
In high-pressure situations, positive reinforcement is crucial to one's success. You're doing a great job.
This is what we train for. These friends of mine, they all live for something bigger than themselves. And that's Starfleet.
Starfleet Academy. New series now streaming on Paramount+.
No question about that. It's supported by you, our listeners, through patreon.com/NQAT pod, where you can get access to our weekly ad-free bonus episode talking about football around the Premier League and Europe. Welcome to No Question About That. We're talking about Manchester United 4, Real Sociedad 1 in the Europa League. I'm Ed with Tom today. How's it going, Tom?
Oh, great. Our season's still alive. Our season's still alive.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can think about this in apocalyptic terms because it's basically a £100 million game.
Feels like that, yeah. Felt like that today.
I mean, It literally is like every single one of these. Like win 5 more games in the Europa. We're in the Champions League and the riches there are huge, mate. It's transformational. Anyway, that's getting ahead of ourselves. Tonight, I mean, I know the ref had been smoking glue or something. And I don't know what he was doing. 3 pens, nearly 4 of them. Red cards. Lots of... There's just never quiet in United. This has been the busiest of busy weeks, hasn't it? And we've ended it on a high.
Yeah, and usually that chaos goes the opposite way, right? Like we're usually on the receiving end of this chaos, especially like in European football as well, like last season when we were in the Champions League and everything was going wrong, but everything I guess went right tonight. But I mean, it felt like we brought our own luck, right? Like we were so deserving of scoring so many more goals today. And I feel like, apart from obviously the VAR that got overturned, I feel like the referee did make the major decisions right. And I feel like it's actually quite liberating in some respects that, especially the Dorgu foul, which I think it is a red card, in the Premier League that wouldn't have happened because the referees have become too scared of making a decision with VAR. They kind of just rely on the technology. Whereas this ref just went, bang, red cards, happy days. And yeah, I think it was. And it's really interesting that Dorgu said to the ref, no, that's not a penalty for the fourth one, or seemingly did that. Obviously knew the game was in the bag, but 2-1.
Yeah, better not do that in the final or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want any sporting nonsense then. Yeah, it's a quirk of the law, isn't it, that the foul on Højlund 3 yards out is not a red card, even though it's obviously a denial of goal-scoring opportunity, and the one on Patrick Dorgu is, even though it's 50 yards from goal.
Yeah.
It's supposed to stop the triple punishment of penalty, red card, goal. If you make a genuine attempt to get the ball, which is questionable, I would say. He's right on the borderline. Maybe you felt sorry for them. I don't know.
I suppose, though, De Ligt probably would have got a red as well.
Yeah, although it's coming sideways into the play.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is, 3 or 4 yards out again.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I thought on first view, and I was like, that's definitely not a penalty. But actually, I think it was, wasn't it?
It is. Yeah, I mean, like, it felt like the ref had been in the toll gate having a few pints beforehand, but probably on balance, they're all correct. And I guess the VAR's there to double check it, rather than, as you say, in the Premier League, I think they do defer to VAR, and then VAR won't overturn it. So you've got this weird situation when refs don't make calls. But look, that's not really the story, is it? The story is comfortable win for United, some really good football, Some of it, of course, came when they were 10 men down, so caveat, but just some nice one-touch football, movement from players, chances created, goals scored.
It'd just be lovely if we could kick the ball hard and accurately at the goal, because that felt like there was all that was missing tonight, apart from obviously with one man in particular who can kick the ball hard and accurately, as he showed with the third goal. Like, he took that so well.
He's absolutely rubbish, isn't he? He's rubbish. If we bin him off, we will solve all of United's problems.
I think Amorim said it was it after the game on Sunday? Like, if we had a team full of Brunos, we wouldn't be in the position we are now. And I was thinking that today. I was like, if we had a Bruno in midfield and a Bruno up front, we'd score so many goals. But like, I mean, Højlund, bless him, he did a lot of things right today, and it was really nice that he got that assist at the end. But he cut a bit of a tragic story at the same time today. Like, there was one where he had so much time to kick it with his right foot, and then he eventually just kind of kicked into the floor. And Zirkzee was awesome today. I thought he was so fantastic. Good. He just like balling out, as the kids would say, and even him, like, there was keeper made a great save near the end, and then his header just flashed past the post, and then just flashed past Højlund. Like, it was one of those games where it was just almost like the wrong person scored all the goals, really, because it was one of them where I'd like to see Garnacho get a goal for his confidence, Zirkzee, Højlund, and Bruno was there just gobbling them all up, as he does, because he is someone who can kick the ball accurately and hard at the goal. In the right areas type of thing. But yeah, we did play some great football, and maybe that speaks to how bad Sociedad are, and maybe
I don't think they're great
the lower reaches of La Liga. But yeah, it was a marked improvement, and we were really good there last week as well.
Very true. Look, props to Josh Zirkzee. I think a lot of people have doubted him and what he offers. If that's what we get out of Josh Zirkzee, then we've got a very good player there. He still needs to be able to score goals if he's going to be a forward for United. And we haven't seen much of that. But that's clearly his best game for United. Great on the ball, some really inventive passing, look strong. I mean, he's never going to be quick, but he looked like he's getting into the right kind of positions to really be involved in play. And so definitely the best of him, no doubt. Garnacho, probably kind of the opposite of Josh Zirkzee today, did a lot of dumb stuff with the ball. You're like waiting for it to click because he's running. He's working as hard as possible. You can't doubt the commitment there. He feels like he's getting in the right positions and then not making the right pass or the right decision and all of that kind of stuff. Even actually when he played it through for Bruno's third, I thought he picked the wrong pass, to be honest, because Højlund's free, and he's like, nah, not passing to him. So,
well, kind of fair enough.
True. Poor old Højlund. I mean, like, if he was a horse, you'd put him down, except like the vet would miss because it's Rasmus Højlund. I mean, I like, it's getting to the point where people pity him, and obviously, like, he's a professional sports person, so it's not really that. It's mostly on him to get this right. I don't think it's bad luck. He was fast tracked to Manchester United before his time. Honestly, I think we're seeing it now. There's some raw ingredients there, but his confidence is just as low as it possibly can get. And as you said, he's kind of tragicomic by the end, looking at his feet, clearly feeling sorry for himself.
Yeah, and there's like that one that flashed just past the post in the first half where Zirkzee did that like beautiful bit of skill, maybe two bits of skill to get into that position and play a lovely ball back. I was thinking when you were just kind of describing everything that Garnacho wasn't today, it's almost like if you combine Garnacho and Zirkzee into one player, like they would have everything about them, like the close control that Zirkzee has, and obviously I give that the pace and the shooting ability that Garnacho has, that would be pretty impressive. And also, it's just the IQ with Garnacho just seems to be missing a little bit, and again, I feel like Zirkzee does have that. I feel like also Zirkzee in recent games has been really good as well. I think it's just kind of usually it's that end pass has not been there, but tonight, like you say, it was his best game and he had all of that. Whereas Garnacho, I don't know if it's confidence similar to Højlund or what it is with both of them. They just in an ideal world, they will be taken out of the firing line. They'll be given 30 minutes to come off the bench and potentially grab something and rebuild their confidence that way. But I mean, Garnacho has had a little bit of that as well, but we're really, really reliant on Garnacho's speed, his runs in behind, his ability to take on men, all of that stuff. Because if we were to play Zirkzee and Bruno in behind as those two tens, there's very little dynamism there. So we're so reliant on playing Garnacho, and then obviously we played Zirkzee up top at the weekend, which kind of worked when we were sat in the low block, but Zirkzee's best position seems like it's in that 10, so Højlund almost has to play as well, unless you bring Chido Obi in, which may be fair enough, you could do that against maybe the weaker teams and stuff, but it's still, it doeson if you were taking Højlund out for a more experienced striker, then you would feel better about it, but if you're taking Højlund out for a 17-year-old, and it's like a statement. And it kind of makes things worse. So it's really difficult to have to balance Højlund at the moment and what best to give him. You just keep playing him through this patch potentially, but
I don't think it's doing him much good. I mean, I'm sure United will have a look at the market this summer. It really depends on, do we have European football? Mm-hmm. And obviously the only European football we can get is Champions League football. It's kind of all or nothing, isn't it? And that will really dictate, as well as sales, how much we can spend. Sales or departures. There's a few players will leave on a free. That'll free up quite a bit of headroom in the wage budget. And Casemiro, if the rumours of Saudi are true, they can come to an accommodation with him so you don't have to pay him off. Then he'll have a bit of wiggle room, and I'm sure they'd love to look at it, because I don't think you can just say there's a button you can press and Højlund suddenly becomes the striker we want or need in order to progress. Anyway, I mean, I guess that's a negative. There's so many positives tonight, and we haven't had many of those this season. I know it's just Real Sociedad and it's just the last 16, the Europa League and all of that, but you just want to kind of take all of it, don't you, and drink it in, because we're not having been moaning and bitching so much this season. It's nice to just feel good about a game for once.
Yeah, and I think it's the first time we scored 4 goals this season. I'm pretty sure that is. I can't remember the last time.
Can we have that ref every week, please? Thanks. Yeah.
That's it, right? But there was, I mean, Casemiro I thought was brilliant today.
He was great. He's much better though in the Europa League, and I'd like to see that performance from Josh Zirkzee in the Premier League. I mean, I think you're right in saying he has been better in recent weeks. He's clearly growing into his own skin at this club, but the level of intensity and pressing that you get in the Premier League is like nothing else, and especially not in the Europa League. And Casemiro, I think, just kind of suits these games where he's not going to get people running around him and putting him under pressure. And he looks like the Casemiro of old when he's not kind of physically challenged, because he's an intelligent footballer.
And he's good on the ball when he's got time as well. Like he can find a pass, and he's actually got a relatively decent shot on him as well. Like at times. Yeah, he was great today. Dorgu as well. Like he's very raw as well, Dorgu, but like he gives us so much on that left hand side. He's in a quiet way. He has been a little bit of a game changer in that respect. He just gives us so much directness, a little bit to how Ahmad gave us that directness from wing back, without kind of the quality of Ahmad at the moment, but. And he's just such an outlet. I mean, we've been screaming out for a left footer in that position all season. But there were loads of positives today. I have got the caveat in my head. It's just Real Sociedad, and it's patently obvious like how much the intensity drops off in the Europa League, because we went through our group not losing a game in 8 games, was it? Yeah. And obviously compare that to our Premier League form, and we've got through these last 2 games with our best performances probably of this calendar year. I
mean, no doubt it's been absolutely dreadful in 25. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Apart from maybe beating Ipswich.
But we can almost be absolutely crap in every game this season as long as we win those 5 games in this competition. I mean, it's mad to say. I mean, of course, you can't just switch it on when you feel like it, but that's all that's really required. And you look at the quality throughout this competition, there's definitely an opportunity. I know we're really bad. There's definitely an opportunity. I mean, obviously, Lazio are through. Eintracht Frankfurt were really good, it seems, tonight as well. I mean, there's always Spurs. In the the bookies have them as favourites, which, I mean, is Spurs. I know they've beaten us 3 times this season, but they are not a good team.
No.
And so there's not loads of depth. Roma went out. It's not, you shouldn't really be fearful. We'll play Lyon next. I mean, they're a club that look like they're going to get relegated through financial mismanagement.
They haven't got a manager either.
And they don't have loads of good players. Obviously, Ryan Cherky's having a fantastic season. He'll be moving if Lyon get the fee that they want, which is apparently very large if you read John Texter's WhatsApp messages, which are quite colourful if you've read any of those. But United should be better than Lyon, really should be quite a lot stronger. And so the opportunities there are really good for United now.
My only concern with Lyon is the French league is really physical, and it is probably the most intense, I think, outside of the Premier League in terms of physicality. Like, the quality, it's not always there in the French league, but that it is a very, very physical league, and it is a fast league. And I just wonder if maybe Lyon being a team from that division, I think they are still like 8th in the league. They're not. It's not like they're having a truly horrendous season like us. But I do wonder about that. Like, we have better players than them, I think. But like,
definitely,
But just in terms of the physical, because that's what's been like you say, is when we get to the Premier League and players like Zirkzee and Casemiro and I guess Højlund as well to a certain degree, the players who are newer to the league like Mazraoui, De Ligt and I guess Dorgu, they don't have that time. They don't, and the players aren't quite used to the system, and we're trying to play out from the back and all that kind of stuff. It just looks so much worse when there's so much more speed involved in the game, and I get that's what I'm just fearing a little bit with Lyon, because they will have that energy and that physicality. But I feel like when we play like a Spanish team where it's a bit slower and maybe they're a bit more technically able, we do have that about us to beat them. But we'll see in the next round. I guess we just concentrate on the positives from tonight for now, because it's lovely to bask in a win for once.
Yeah, great atmosphere before kickoff as well. Pyro, which was approved officially. Not as mad. Where was the pyro? It was in the Atletico Madrid Real Madrid game. That one was fairly bizarre. Beforehand, like a sea of fire outside the Wanda Metropolitano. That stuff's great. I mean, I know you're not supposed to do it because safety, utter woke nonsense, like not setting people on fire and all of that. But yeah, good atmosphere at Old Trafford. It kind of needs something to. Yeah. It always used to be very organic at Old Trafford, and that's kind of been eroded over the years. And apparently, the new stadium will have acoustics that. Stimulates the roar, or whatever Norman Foster said. Yeah, he kind of gave the game away. I don't think he's quite a football fan, but anyway, it'll probably have very good acoustics. Apparently, Old Trafford does not, for different reasons, especially that weird sloped roof on the North Stand. It's been like that for 30 years now. And sometimes, I know. It's like, where did the time go? In those 30 years, I went in the tier 3 of the North Stand once.
I've only been in there once,
yeah. I swapped my ticket with someone and I was like, I want to try it out. I was like, fuck this. It's like watching the game through a letterbox. It's
like Sabutio, I remember I think it was Southampton in the year 2000 I went to watch. Who might have even lost?
Well, you wouldn't be able to see it.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's sometimes it just needs something to spark Old Trafford into life, and there was some good atmosphere tonight, and the players responded, and I mean, so many good performances. We didn't get a howler from Andre Onana, except for the penalty, dived out of the way, which he is an absolutely specialist in diving full length the wrong way. Like, you just stand still. You get closer, stand still. Yeah. It's mad. I just don't understand him. Davies even saving penalties these days.
Oh my God! Yeah, I know. Well, we could have. Will Bayern be back for the final if the penalty?
He's been out for a while. I'm not even sure what's wrong with him. Really,
no idea.
I'm not sure I've seen it said. Yeah,
hasn't been communicated. But he's obviously a pen expert, isn't he?
Yeah. Word for Ayden Heaven. Full debut was excellent.
I thought a little bit. nervous, I guess, understandably early doors. He looked a little bit shaky. I think there was a few kind of passes and he obviously got nutmegged quite early as well, but I think it was Dorgu, wasn't it, who covered for him? Someone covered for him quickly. And there was a few things that I was like, oh no. And then I think Onana played a couple of like goal kicks to him like quite early. I was like, you're really testing this boy. But I thought he was great. Yeah. The longer the game went on, the more kind of comfortable he became, because he came on at the weekend and looked self-assured immediately. Yeah. Whereas tonight, I thought he was a little bit shaky in that first 10, 15. Maybe that was me projecting, but it felt like that to me. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of found his comfort level and looked great. And he even tried an overhead kick towards the end of the game, didn't he? He was like shaking his head at himself as well. Like, I should have connected with that.
Well, I mean, look, everyone is waiting for him to score so we can pull out all the puns, right? With the headlines, yeah. There's been a few people trying to start songs. Personally,
I saw Dan made one on
Twitter, that's been going around, Belinda Carlisle and a couple others. Fine. It's very early to get a song like that. So maybe we wait a little bit and see how it goes. But look, when he joined, I saw quite a few Arsenal fans on Twitter. So, all right, there's that caveat. It is the bottom half of the internet, and the bottom half of the internet is the worst of humanity. So like, take it with a pinch of salt and all of that. But they were kind of rubbishing him, saying he wasn't very good, and seemed more upset about losing Chido Obi than Ayden Heaven. But I don't know. He's had 3 games now, or 4 games, like 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes in a full game. He doesn't look out of place. We can question some confidence, nerves. He hasn't really been sort of super tested in a defensive sense yet. Feels like there's an awful lot to work with there, and it's £1.5 million. I mean, it's hard to go wrong, isn't it?
I think, to me, that feels like Arsenal fans are just envious and we didn't want him anyway. He's been on the bench a few times for their first team this season.
Yeah,
like he was part of the 3 players that came through Arsenal this season were Nwaneri, Miles Skelly and Ayden Heaven. He was the third who came through the youth team this season. So it's not like he's in bad company with those 2. And everything that we've seen from him so far, you just kind of look at the raw ingredients and you think, is this guy going to make it a player? Super strong, like even at his young age, like really quick. I love the way he like goes, like slides to block crosses and stuff. He's got a really like intelligent reading of the game. It looks like from these early days, and also he's really, really good on the ball. Really assured, left-footed as well. Like to have a left-footed centre back in that 3 is really important because it helps us build up. So it's so important to the build-up. Like, I mean, £1.5 million. It seems whatever happens, it's worth the risk, and he seems like he has a lot going for him. Like whether it'll turn out to be good enough at a professional level, at this high level, we'll see. But like raw ingredients wise, it's always really difficult to tell as well with a defender, isn't it? Like I remember early days of Tyler Blackett, he looked like pretty good, didn't he? Obviously didn't quite stand up, but and defenders, it's all kind of about how much they get exposed, how much they get tested, and that's when you see kind of how good they are. But like early days, you're just thinking, this boy has a lot to his game.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Yeah, it appears to be the strategy, doesn't it? We're going to find some reasonably priced, high potential players and see if we can develop them as we unwind a few years of very bad spending, which is having an impact on our budget and apparently our ability to stay in business, although there were some really, really hyperbolic headlines from... I mean, United were down to £15 million in cash at one point, although the end-of-year accounts showed more cash in the bank. And although that is partly a case of Ratcliffe putting £250 million in the past 12 months as well. So, yeah, lots of headlines about United might be going bust, but that was never true. It's not a great financial situation. They are trying to take the wage budget down. They're trying to unwind all these PSR costs. There's obviously a lot of players they would like to get rid of, probably more than they can possibly do. And the strategy is to bring in these younger players. I guess this is the more sort of extreme end of that. You're not going to find too many £1.5 million players who are running out down their contracts who really want to come to United and all of that kind of stuff, and they won't all work out. But this is the way they're trying to do it. It's quite a young side tonight. I mean, obviously Casemiro, Bruno, Masraoui, De Ligt were the more experienced players.
Yeah, De Ligt's not as old as we always think.
He's 25. Yeah, he's just been around for a long time. So, yeah, and I suspect next season we'll see an even younger side as they try and build. Unless we're in the Champions League, and then that changed the calculation a little bit. Well, one, we've got more money, and also you don't want them to get really embarrassed in it. Mind you have to be absolute dog shit to not make it out. 24 teams, you really have to be bad not to do anything in this tournament.
City were almost that bad this year.
City were very close, yeah. Well, look, staying in Europe's not for everyone in the Northwest, is it?
There
City out, Liverpool out. Carragher. Oh, inject Carragher into my veins. Him standing there on the cop. Yeah, perfect.
It was beautiful. I don't know if you heard this a few weeks ago, but Carragher said that Van Dijk was too good for the highest level of football. It's too easy for him at the highest level. I mean, Van Dijk is, at times, he just looks like he's never played football before. Like, there was a moment last week in that when they got absolutely hammered in Paris, and this is a massive segue, but he looked like a dog that had been pulled by its owner from on a leash. Like, he just got, he does just some bizarre things at times, and it's lovely seeing him exposed and like this, and Liverpudlian arrogance is kind of seen for what it is, because it's hilarious. The treble talk that's been ongoing all season, the quad talk that was ongoing for a little bit, like, they don't half get ahead of themselves, do they?
Yeah.
It's March, for goodness sake.
Sadly, they are going to win the league.
16.
Yeah,
they are going to win the league. Yeah, we're going to win as many trophies as them this season, so it doesn't matter.
Well, touch wood.
And we're both going to be in the Champions League.
Yeah, not arrogant, just better. All of that. Global pandemic. Can we instigate one before the end of the season so they can't have their open bus stop parade like last time? Put an asterisk next to it. Worth it? Maybe, or maybe not.
Maybe. What could it be? I don't know. Bird flu was going for a little bit, wasn't it?
But, well, we've got measles out here because now, it's
RFK.
Yeah. Joy. Yeah. Well, there was a lot of joy at United in what has been an incredibly busy week. And we had to Jim on Monday doing the press rounds. He said some slightly odd stuff, including appearing to have a go at his own players. I mean, he didn't quite do it, but he answered in the affirmative when the journalist name-checked a bunch of players, and it was a little odd to do that. And Ruben Amorim had to kind of address that in the pre-match press conference, didn't he?
And so skillfully, as always.
As always, he played it extremely well. I don't think it's a great look having a go at your own players, even if he didn't really mean it. Then we had the stadium announcement. Ruben said, "Yeah, we want a good team now. That's for the future." Which, yes, thank you very much, Ruben. That is what we're thinking about. Of course, they've got the three parts of the trident. Should we not go for a fourth one with Bruno, towering statue of Bruno? I think he's earned one, hasn't he?
Oh my God! I mean, I know people criticize him, and I think you can potentially criticize him sometimes for certain things that he does, but like, I mean, the overall package of what we get from Bruno, like, where would we be without him? Like, where would we be? I feel like the whole mentality of the team would suffer as well, because he's such a incredible leader in terms of of everything that he does, like his quality and the way he works so hard. And I feel like he's also less ranty at his own teammates as well since Amorim's come in. Maybe not, but it feels like that to me. And yeah, tonight, you just know that he's not going to miss those penalties. And you just knew that when he got into that position, he was always going to score. Like no one else on the pitch would have had that belief. Like either team. And he just thrashed it in. And just some of the passes he makes as well. It's just, he's so good. I mean, you put him in one of he would get into, I think he would get into most United teams of the past 30 years.
Yeah, he's a very specific player. And of course, in Fergie's time, rarely played with a pure number 10.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Bruno's not a pure number 10 anymore. He's been dropped back into midfield as a number 8. And in these games, I think they felt confident enough doing that Bruno sort of stepped forward quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Casemiro was able to cover. I think in a lot of Premier League games that is not true, and Bruno's got to cover more ground. But yeah, I mean, he's this generation's Brian Robson. I hope we manage to win some big trophies before he leaves. I mean, he's got another 2 and a bit years on his contract. We won't win the Premier League in that time, I don't think. Although, I mean, you see what some other teams have done. They are able to turn it around quite quickly. I'm not sure if we'll be able to spend enough money while he's here to do that. But it would be nice if he could get his hands on the trophy before he leaves, or at least a few more, so it doesn't feel like he wasted his career at United.
Yeah. In terms of that, though, in some ways it's nice to be what he is, because he'll be able to look back on his career and be like, he's the only person who stands out that we've signed in the past post-Fergie era almost, as a player who, well, consistently year upon year upon year has performed to a level above everyone else. And that is almost more impressive than performing as part of a team where everyone's performing, because it's like we've seen so many players come to this club who've started well and then just faded because everything else is a circus and everything else is shit. Whereas Bruno has the mentality to be like, I don't care if everything else is shit around me. I'm still just going to put every single minutiae of effort into this. I'm still going to still have the ability, still have the composure to still perform to an outrageous degree, creating the most chances, I think, in European football over the past 5 years, most goal contributions. He is staggering in his output. Like, there are some things that annoy me about Bruno for sure at times, and I feel like if we had a better team, then those flaws might be highlighted a little bit more. But when we're just so barren and bad as we are now, it's like, thank God for Bruno.
Yeah, Nicky Butt in midweek was going on about his body language. He's been the target of commentary from Paul Scholes and Roy Keane as well. I feel like these players forget what it was like when they were at the top. And of course, they were in a successful United team and achieved everything. And you can't diminish anything any of these players have achieved at United. They're all a bit chippy, though, after leaving. Like, it was all better in my day, and no one had to go at each other. Roy Keane headbutted his own goalkeeper. You know, he used to scream at his own players, and he's talking about the body language. I find all of that commentary a bit odd. I mean, would it be better if he was screaming and shouting at his players and pointing and whatever it is than the kind of arm flapping stuff? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know it seems to bother a lot of people. I don't really care. He produced his clutch moment after clutch moment for United, and that's the thing that matters.
I feel like we should call out our legends more, because when I was growing up in the 90s and 2000s, you used to get loads of ex-Liverpool pundits on TV who were always criticising the Liverpool team to an overly crazy degree, like Mark Lawrence and Al Hansen. They were obviously biased in the form of Liverpool and always were hating on United, obviously the famous quotes and stuff. But having their presence in especially on Match of the Day, because Match of the Day was literally Mark Lawrence and Alan Hansen all the time, having their presence was not good for the current Liverpool team. Having that, those two quality players who'd won everything, and then you've got, I don't know, Jimmy Traore at the back or whatever being lambasted on Match of the Day every week. It wasn't good. And now it's turned into so many United ex-legends just And I guess even more so these days because Nicky Butt or Paul Scholes or Dwight York or Louis Sahar will be chatting to Bet365 or Unibet or whatever, and the quotes will go wild. And obviously now we have the overlap who's on every week, and we have Roy Keane complaining about our players. And Roy Keane's the greatest pundit, I think, on TV because he's so entertaining. And as a pundit, he's so watchable. But it's almost like you say, there is a chip on his shoulder. Like it's almost like every captain that takes over from Roy Keane has to be lambasted. Like the way that he used to talk about Harry Maguire when he was captain of United is really quite starkly different to the way that he talks about Harry Maguire now. And the way that he talks about Bruno now feels like it's starkly different to I don't know if it's something to do with, oh yeah, you're not good enough to carry the armband after me. And yeah, Roy Keane was our greatest captain of all time probably, and it was absolutely unbelievable for so many years. And yeah, we know all that. But it's and having Gary Neville come out and lambast the team all the time, and it doesn't help. It really doesn't. Yeah. Like Amorim, I don't know if it was yesterday or earlier in the week, I can't remember, but he was saying he referenced the legends coming out and being critical. He didn't, obviously in his skillful, charismatic way, he didn't say that they're being bad and we don't want them to say anything, but he said it's difficult when you have legends, and it really is. Like, and Rooney as well. Like Rooney's become really chippy recently, and
yeah,
I guess it's some part bitterness, some part you really want them to do well, but it's just so unhelpful for the current team. It really is.
I agree. I fully agree. I think there would be less pressure if we didn't have this army of successful ex-United players, pundits who are quite negative about the team. There's no cheerleaders. Like Liverpool have a whole bunch of cheerleaders in the media, for example. Yeah. There aren't any United fans who are cheerleaders, and probably, I guess, the smartest of them, or the most nuanced, or the one who's got the most sort of insight is Neville, and he kind of goes as far away as he possibly can from sounding like an ex-United player, doesn't he? And that's the way he's decided to run his media career. Most of them just aren't very good pundits, honestly. Roy Keane's entertaining. I don't think he offers a lot because he's become a parody of That's Your Job.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Paul Scholes very moany. Owen Hargreaves and Peter Schmeichel both absolute word salads. I mean, I said it before, but read a transcript of what Peter Schmeichel says as a pundit. I just couldn't even work out what it is. Like, it's not English. It's something. Rio, big moaner, big moaner. There just aren't any it doesn't appear to be any sort of ex-United players who've gone on to be really good pundits and also a cheerleader. Because there's nothing wrong with that. Like, why not?
No, and you could argue, they just want what's best for the club, but I don't think what's best for the club is to just really be overly critical every single week. And even on Sunday, I felt like they were pretty critical of United, setting up in the low block or whatever it is, and I feel like Rooney's becoming one of the worst of them as well. Like he's I don't know if it's bitterness from what happened at Plymouth and Birmingham and getting that flack and losing a bit of self-security or whatever it is, but it's just, as a United fan, we know how bad it is. We don't need you to just keep telling us over and over again.
Yeah. I know it is really hard when you're talking about United as much as we all do.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm sick of listening to my own voice about this one. I keep suggesting to people, by the way, in the group of co-hosts, that you don't need me on, you can go on. It's like I have to listen to myself talk, and then I have to listen to myself when I edit and publish. So I know that sounding negative about the club all the time is pretty draining, and probably I'm thinking about the pundits, ex-United pundits, the way that some of our listeners think about us, because it's crap a lot. And it's really hard to stay positive when you're losing every week and the club's in trouble and the stadium's falling down. It's not falling down, and the owners are assholes and people are being fired and just everything is negative. And so it's really hard to find in that something good to talk about and to feel like you're positive about it. And people don't really want to listen to it. I mean, and just look at the listener numbers on this podcast. It goes up when we win. Right? Probably twice as many people will tune into this episode as ones where we lose. I mean, it's mad, but like there's a whole bunch of people who just don't want to hear about United being crap, which is fair enough, honestly. Been crap for quite a long time. So, but not tonight.
Because I guess football's an escapism, and and you watch, say, 90 minutes of dreary United. You don't want to listen to 60 minutes of dreary us talking about how bad dreary United were. But tonight was... I always celebrate goals with such gusto tonight. And also with our big win on Tuesday night over Liverpool in the Champions League as well. It felt like we've got two massive victories this week. Yeah, that Tuesday was so fun watching Liverpool go out. And then also tonight, being able to back it up and stay in Europe, which I went into today really on the fence. I was like, we're definitely the better team, but are we going to be able to actually kick the ball in the back of the net? And thankfully, the referee helped us out a little bit, and Bruno's just Bruno. And it'll be lovely if on Sunday against Leicester that Højlund can kick the ball in the back of the net, because that will really, really help him. And Zirkzee as well.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So then I'm doing IT, and when I go to plug the servers in, they become sentient, and they won't let us access our network unless we forward their chain emails and memes to more and more and more people, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant finds and invites best fit candidates to apply, so you can discover talent you may have missed. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Año nuevo. Los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
Good morning, Crust. It's a great day to be a bread brother.
Ugh, mornings are not my jam. Or jelly.
Oh, come on. Stop loafing around.
I just woke up feeling hollow inside.
Just grab one of the new Morning Uncrustables sandwiches, like Bright-Eyed Berry or Up and Apple, filled with 12 grams of protein and tons of deliciousness. Crust, what are you eating?
It's just granola, not even yogurt.
No crust, no fuss. Uncrust your mornings.
You've made the segue for us. Let's talk about Leicester away at the weekend, Sunday. We've already beaten them how many times this season? Quite a few.
Feels like,
every other week, basically. Yeah, it is. They have been really crap this season. They obviously don't really have the squad to perform in the Premier League. Rudiger's gone there. It's not really been very good. He's not had that kind of new manager bounce at all.
He's still there, actually.
Yeah, they can't fire another one, can they? I mean, maybe, I guess they could, right? It wouldn't be the first time. But yes, they're not definitely gone, because there are sort of 4 teams that are quite tight down there. They do have a chance, but it's not much of one, and it kind of is eroding by the week because their results have been so bad.
Yeah, and Wolves are dragging themselves up, aren't they, a little bit? And like Cunha's, I guess, almost single-handedly doing that. And then Wolves have got some decent players, but less because of their financial constraints last season. Well, at the start of this season, I think they just managed to get through PSR.
Well, they shouldn't have done. They got through on a loophole.
Yeah, they did.
They spent one season in the Championship, and therefore, because they're not like aligned PSR regulations in the Premier League and the Championship, which they really should be, right? Because the parachute payments, there's relegation, promotion, and all of that. Because of that, they were able to argue that they didn't actually have a 3-year period in either league. I mean, it's a brilliant argument to find if I ever commit a murder, I want that lawyer.
There we go.
to get me off.
Yeah.
So they would have had a points deduction otherwise. Yeah.
But they've barely added to their team that was, I guess, pretty good last season. But obviously under Maresca was a completely different style of football that they were playing. Very, very attacking, which you can obviously do in the Championship. And Southampton obviously did it quite successfully as well, not as successfully as Leicester. And then obviously losing Maresca, bringing in Steve Cooper, who did okay, but was set them up to just play pragmatic first football, and then to chop and change to go with something again really, really attacking in Rude. It just to look at how good that club was ran probably 10 years ago, and even until COVID, I guess, and their business started to be really, really affected, because I think they run duty frees, don't they, in a lot of airports around the world, and then COVID happened, and then they lost a lot of money, and therefore they couldn't put as much money into the club as much as before. And then over the past 4 years they made a great appointment with Maresca last season, and were able to bounce back, but they have not got a very good team. The quality in that team is nowhere near good enough. And to, I guess, hire someone like Ruud, he's on a bit of a hiding to nothing in a lot of respects, trying to play attacking football with a team that has some like bright sparks in it, especially like their wingers are kind of tricky and can sometimes be good, but like super inconsistent and so porous at the back. Like, there's no wonder that Ruud beat those two. But beat them twice so easily, and they're really not a very good team.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Cooper was on hiding to nothing, ex-Forest manager. There's almost nothing he could have done to win the Leicester fans over, so it was a bit of an odd appointment in that respect. I mean, obviously he did a good job at Forest prior to that. It seems a long shot for them to get out of it. They've got the best of the three that are down there, but they just do give up too many goals. And that business model broke down basically, where they were doing really well to sell a top player each year, but retain most of their players, right? And just sell the one, and that paid for that year's budget, basically. The kind of Brighton model, and before that we had Swansea, who did that model, and Southampton, if you remember. And if you just sell too many players, I mean, mind you, they did get an entire training ground out of Harry Maguire. So because we paid them up front for Harry Maguire, it's amazing. And they built this amazing training ground as a result. I was like, thank you very much. Yeah. It'd be nice if, I don't know, maybe if the Saudi Pro League came along and said, we'd really like Casemiro. Would £200 million be all right? We'd be like, thanks. we'll consider it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit unlikely at this point. I was thinking about this is another segue, but Kavash Kelly are watching him on Tuesday night, and they only got him for 70 million.
I know. It's such a good player.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a joke compared to how much we paid for. I mean, that's
Anthony.
It's Anthony or Højlund. Yeah. I mean, we can relitigate how dumb the dumbest club in world football over the last 10 years, United. How much resources? I mean, given that the Glazers have managed to extract £1 billion in interest, management fees, dividends, and so on, more than £1 billion. And we've also spent £1 billion net and another 2 billion on top of that in wages for like almost nothing over the last 10 years. Yeah, just so dumb. And you just hope that now we're making better decisions. At least there is an understanding. I didn't like everything Ratcliffe said earlier in the week, but the one thing he did say is we are trying to make, and he did front up about the mistakes they've made, right? And he has said, don't make the same mistake twice. So you kind of hope that you look at this summer transfer market, and whatever transfer strategy we're employing, and probably aimed at younger players, that we get the right players and we just get bang for our buck. Because as you say, Kvaratskhelia, I mean, feels like a bargain at 70 million. He slotted into a very good Paris Saint-Germain side. Enrique is a very fine manager. They finally, after 15 years at the club, the Qatari owners have said, we're going to move away from the superstar strategy to get players that fit the system.
Yeah, making it an actual football team.
And they look a very good one as well.
Yeah.
So I won't be supporting them next time out, though, because I don't really want a bunch of state-run clubs to succeed, because it's a bit of a cancer in football. But that's what anyone beating Liverpool. So they're
playing Marcus Rashford FC as well next up, aren't they?
They indeed. Rashford, who was absolutely brilliant the other night as well. He hasn't got his goal for Villa yet, but he's been really good.
Really good, yeah. It's lovely to see. And that means next season it'll come back, score loads of goals for United, and then in the Champions League.
There is just an option for Villa, though, and they're not in the Champions League next season unless they win this thing, which it seems unlikely. I mean, I don't think they're going to get into the top 5. they'd have to have a very, very good run from here. I mean, it's possible. It's not impossible.
Yeah, there's a lot of those teams are tripping up there, aren't they? And they do have a little bit of depth, actually. I guess now they've signed Asensio and Rashford. Because, I mean, if you look at their front five that...
Got a lot of talent there.
Sorry, their front four that played yesterday, like Rodgers, Watkins, Rashford and Asensio. It's really good. And Leon Bailey, I think, was playing as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. I'm kind of glad it's over. I can stop talking because it's been non-stop content.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
I did a piece every day, and then I wrote a newsletter on the new stadium as well. So nq80pod.substack.com if you'd like to read my free newsletter. It's just one piece of writing per week. Although I've gone a bit over the top. I wrote 4,500 words on United's youth team policy last week, which was, I don't know why I did that, but yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. You can catch this on YouTube if you're listening, or you can catch it on all podcast apps if you're watching us. You can back the show at patreon.com/NQ80. We do a bonus show every week, and there are mugs. I say mugs. I've been promising mugs for about 6 months. I owe quite a lot of people mugs. Sorry, I've been busy, but you'll get them. Catch you next time, everyone. Bye now.